Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Historical Humans Reacts. And today we have a follow-up episode, the first time ever, I think. And,
Yay!
and
Bring
today's
the
follow-up
champagne!
episode is honestly one of sweet victory because we saw a British Museum injustice finally get rectified.
It's
It's not the one you think.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, it's not the Elgin marbles,
they're
but
far and in between, but goddamn, we take the wins where
no,
we can
this
get them.
is actually a callback to an episode we did where a translator had her work stolen and plagiarized by the British Museum. And what happened was an outcry on social media where she ended up raising £20,000 to hire a lawyer. And once she, so the beautiful part about this is she got no response from the British Museum until she hired the law firm, and then they immediately started working with her on a settlement.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
funny how that
my,
works.
Yeah, my personal favorite part about this is the translator. She's a Canadian woman, and the person whose work she was translating that got the copyright stolen was a feminist revolutionary. And it's just one of those levels of just the irony of what the British Museum was doing had an extra layer to it that just made it so much more juicy for me.
The thing that is honestly incredible too is we're celebrating the settlement, but even the settlement is exceptionally flawed because it is the British Museum, where
Yeah.
they refer to the incident as the oversight.
Oversight.
Plagiarism. Which the other thing too is the British Museum and most other pretty much every institution in the world usually has a licensing fee that they pay the people who create their exhibits. So, to plagiarize is to be taking the money away from a graduate student who is translating this work.
And every graduate student's always poor. Come on, like,
Yeah.
you're taking
Their
money
professors
from
are already plagiarizing their work anyways.
Oh!
Listen. Enough burns there. Let's finish ourselves here. It's this oversight is a major violation of what is considered academic integrity, something which is very important to the field of museums, and not just something you hear your high school teachers yell at you about.
Yeah, like, they call the plagiarism oversight, but, like, you could get kicked out of a college for this kind of stuff. British Museum's just like, I'm not going to do anything about it.
Well,
Until
This definitely qualifies as under the grounds of fireable offense.
you would think.
Well, and the museum responded in turn by saying that they're reviewing their internal policies, which sounds like an HR statement right off of a PR.
It's
Nightmare.
their
list,
internal
but-
policy. Their internal policy is it's just a sheet of paper that says I can do what I want.
Basically, but they're
The
like,
internal policy is don't get caught, stupid.
well, now
Yeah.
they're going to be reviewing the copyright of translations and make sure that translations have the proper clearances, which is hopefully going to prevent issues like this from happening. But the fact that it even happened in the first place is an atrocity. And
Yeah.
the thing about this is the museum received a £719,000 or $950,000 grant from the Art and Humanities Research Council for the exhibition, and they used her translations in multiple ways.
Yes. Yes. It was. It wasn't just like a label or just a plaque that was put to the side explaining what this was.
Or like a poem.
Yeah, it was used in video presentations. It was used as the actual translations of the text. It was put into the audio guide for the for the tours. So this was not something that just someone looked at once, put in a corner, and then forgot to take out when they decided they weren't using it. This was the go-to method that they chose.
It did. The article also states that her name is, and again, I am sorry if I say it wrong, but it's Yilin Wang. She has also stated that 50% of the settlement funds are also going towards I believe it said, oh god, where did it? There it is. From her fundraise, or sorry, in her fundraising campaign, she had promised to put 50% of any settlement funds towards establishing a Chinese poetry translation mentorship program for people of color.
And as a part of the settlement, the British Museum agreed to pay twice what they normally would to help make this happen. And it's a sad story that has a mildly happy ending. But the other thing that also just kind of frustrates me is once the whole ordeal came out and the British Museum started looking bad, they immediately took down the whole exhibit and said that they absolutely could not reinstate the excised material when the author had just said, give me credit and pay me and we can work this out. Like,
Yeah.
we can rectify this pretty easily, but they refused until she ended up getting a lawyer. Like, nothing happened until the threat of a lawsuit.
Not only that, she had to go through all the effort to starting the fundraiser as well, and it's just so she can get the lawyer as well. It's
People are going to say that she's being greedy or whatever, and I just think it's nonsense. It's just literally an academic protecting their work. And the other thing, too, that people don't realize is translations are not always direct and are not always one-to-one. And in doing so, every translation is different.
people really tend to forget that we, as human beings in stratified societies, have different viewpoints and different understandings. Therefore, we can all look at the same tree, but we're not all seeing it the same way.
Yeah,
And each new perspective sheds light on the reality of that tree.
and also from a less philosophical standpoint, the museum stole the translations of a human rights activist's poem.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
deserve whatever is coming to them at that point.
Yeah.
To say that was in
Right.
poor taste is a very strong oversight.
There are
Understatement.
layers and layers of wrong here.
Someone definitely should have got fired.
You know, it's always the meme of how the British Museum steals everything in their collections, but in this case, it was quite literally they even stole the work.
What's
Well,
something
I guess
that,
old habits die hard, huh?
what's something that seems British but isn't? The contents of the British Museum. And with that, I believe we're saying
Belgian
goodbye.
marbles.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a comment down below if there's a topic you'd like us to cover. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our future videos.